YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a food video, something quite nice to start this series. We're going to be baking today, me and my sister. It's Sunday afternoon, we just don't really feel like doing anything but baking. Excuse my appearance, I've just done a face mask. I did one of those peel off masks and I quite like to do them like every Sunday. They just make my skin, plus I'm getting quite a few blemishes at the minute. I don't know if it's the change in weather or my eczema, but I'm just getting a few blemishes, so I've just done a face mask. That explains that one. Okay, moving on. This is what we're making today. Now we're just doing these just to start off the series, nothing like amazing. These are the double chocolate muffins. We're going to be making jelly as well, and we're going to be making, I think we're making Maid of Honors. So they're like jam tarts with the topping. But we'll do jam, chocolate and lemon curd, I think. So yeah, it's going to be me and my sister in this kitchen. You won't actually like see us. We're going to pop the camera up on the tripod so that you can basically see us like working and cooking, and yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video.
So we need some milk. Then we need some cupcake holders and a holder tray that is suitable to go in the oven. Then we need a mixing bowl and one medium egg. And the cakes that we have gone for today are the Asda ones. It's only £1.69 for this, and the chocolate chips are actually mixed in with the packet mixture, so it makes it even easier. For this one you won't actually even need your weighing scales because the mixture is weighed out in a packet. You simply just need to pour it into the bowl. Then we need to add the milk. For this one it's 150 millilitres. With this I tend to add in the milk gradually, so a little bit at a time, stir, a little bit at a time, stir, and then whip it in. This tends to make the muffins nice and fluffy as the air can get between all the mixture. Now it's time to add one medium egg. And then, of course, stir. Now it's time to carefully either pour into the muffin cases or spoon into the muffin cases. Try not to get too much on the sides, as with it being such a fluffy mixture they do tend to overflow and then they get burnt at the sides, so just be careful with the mixture. top up the cupcake holders where necessary. We did have a lot of mixture for 6 cupcakes, to be honest, and it said only 6 muffins, but we probably could have got 12 small ones. You'll see in the end these do make very big fluffy muffins. Once you've evenly spread the mixture, place the muffin tray onto an oven tray. Make sure that the mixture doesn't spill out and overflow. And yes, your oven should be preheated at around 180. Ready for the muffins to be baked. Always remember to keep your utensils and workspace clean and tidy. This means you will get things done quicker and easier, and you'll create less mess and hassle for you once you're done. Next, we're making jelly! Okay, so we have 3 different types of jelly here. We have got strawberry, raspberry and blackcurrant. We have 2 sugar-free and 1 that is normal sugar. You can now get twin packets, which you can use 1 packet at a time to make a good sized jelly, but if you want double the size, obviously use the entire packet. We did for both of these jellies. Now 2 of them are powders and 1 of them is the normal jelly where you melt the bricks, like the cubes of jelly. We wanted to try both of them and see if they tasted different, to see if they were made differently, and you'll see the results. So with both the powder and the jelly cubes, you need 285 ml of boiling water and 285 ml of cold water in all of them. So if you're using the twin packet and you use both the sachets of the twin packet, like I did, you will need 2 lots of boiling water and 2 lots of cold water. So with both, make sure that you put the boiling water in first. You'll notice that the powder sometimes crystallises, so just make sure that you are really stirring. And with the cubes, also make sure that these are completely melted. You might need to add some more water with the cubes. We found that they didn't dissolve as quickly as the powder. I don't know why, but they just took a little bit longer. They had more substance to them. Obviously, the powder disappeared very quickly. Choose whatever works for you, but I find that the powder really works for me because I like quick and easy projects. I wouldn't want to be standing for stirring for so long, so I'm very impatient, so I would choose the powder. them in the refrigerator once they're done. Leave them for around, we left ours for around 3 to 4 hours. The consistency was pretty much perfect. I don't like it to be like still too watery, so I want to make sure that it is set properly. Let's quickly check on those muffins, shall we? This is a quick and easy video for puddings, so it's just to give you an idea that we did make these all at the same time, and we were cooking for probably around an hour and a half in total, including the Maid of Honors. So it was a very quick and easy afternoon, which is my favourite kind. So after the next pudding, again, clean your utensils and your workspace. It really does help if you have a dishwasher. Okay, so next it's Maid of Honors. Maid of Honors, for those that don't know, are pretty much jam tarts with a layer of pastry on the top. We decided, going against the chocolate and the lemon curd, and we decided to just make strawberry ones because they seem to be the favourite. We made many small ones, and then I decided to have the wonderful idea of making a big jam tart, which you'll see in the video that we didn't really have the utensils for it, but we tried anyway. So all you need is the Asda short crust pastry, which has already been ready rolled for you. You simply lay it out and go. Roll out the edges if need be. Time to cut. Get a cutter that is bigger size than the gaps in your baking tray so that it overlaps over the sides. Once I lay out the pastry onto the tray, you'll understand what I mean, because it needs to overlap so like the tart goes over the sides. But yes, I'll show you once I've got the cutting done. Okay, so we need to place the pastry into the tray. As you can see, when we pop the pastry in, we let it fall over the sides. We don't actually press it into the container. This is because once you add the jam, it weighs it down anyway, so you really don't need to, and pastry will be going over the top. So just delicately maneuver the pastry into the tray. Okay, so once you're done with the smaller ones, we use the rest of the pastry for a bigger tart, but feel free to make some more if you need be. We're now making the top that goes over the top of the jam. This is 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of self-raising flour, 100 grams of sugar and 1 egg, all beaten together, and then this makes the pastry that is layered over the top of this pastry and the jam. If you want the consistency to be slightly thinner, then just add a little bit of water and beat in. Once that's all done and ready, you can start adding the jam to your pastry. So while Kyria added the jam to the mini Maid of Honors, I decided to use the rest of the pastry to make a big jam tart. So here I am just rolling it out. You must be aware that in this clip I used self-raising flour to help roll it out with the rolling pin, just so that it didn't make it stick, but please use plain flour, as self-raising flour does make it rise. I just used the tiniest bit so this didn't happen. after looking for the appropriate utensil that is suitable to hold the big jam tart and to go in the oven, we eventually gave in and put it in a saucepan, which I don't know if you're supposed to do, but it did actually work. So just make sure that you do have the right utensils. I'm not really advertising that very well on here, but we ended up fluking it. Then again, add the pastry and cut down the sides so that it is all neat and tidy but still overlapping onto the sides. Then again, it's time to add the jam. With this, the pan obviously was quite deep and didn't hold the pastry up, so it fell in. We manoeuvred it so that it would go up the sides of the pan, inside the pan. So it actually did work, but obviously it wasn't the right utensil. So as you can see, it's deeper into the pan rather than sitting on top. So you can now add the pastry that you made in on top of the jam. So here we are spooning it onto the top of the jam tarts. We had two types of jam, one that you can tell is a very rich jam and one that was a little bit cheaper, and obviously it's not as rich. So just add this to the mini Maid of Honors and the jam tart. Again, once done, pop these in the oven at around 180. Keep an eye on these as some burn quicker than others depending on how much pastry they have. Okay, so here's the end products. Here's the Maid of Honors. And here we have the chocolate muffins. These were very fluffy and they had chocolate chips inside them that were melted. I topped them with Freddo and Toffee Crisp just to give it that extra loveliness. So angels, that's it for this video. The jelly, of course, turned out like jelly and it was very lovely too. I decided to start with puddings that weren't so healthy because my series is going to be focused on healthy food, but I also wanted to say that eating what's classed as unhealthy food is okay. All food is good food, no food is bad food. Food is fuel and you are allowed treats as much as you are allowed the healthy fruit and veg, etc. So I wanted to start with a fun, quick, easy 3 puddings, treats, whatever you want to call them, to start off my tips and tricks food series. Thanks for watching guys, see you in the next one. Bye!